How you guys doing today? It's Jake from the Fourth Liners podcast, and I'm here with Bryce, and we're back with the returning guest, superstar, maybe going to be in the NHL one day, Jamie Engelbert. If you guys remember him from last time, he plays for Providence, D1 college in the States, and Jamie recently went to the Boston Bruins development camp, which is pretty exciting stuff. And Jamie, thanks for coming, and we're excited to talk about it.
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Another big intro there.
Oh, yeah. You always got to have a big intro, man.
Got to do it.
Like I said, you're a celebrity here in Whitby. You know what I mean?
No, not celebrity yet.
No, whenever you come back, man, I swear to God, I feel shorter and shorter. Like, you're a legit giant, man. I swear to God, like whenever I see you, like you tower right over me. But no wonder Boston liked you. Big bod, you know what I mean? And the skill, too.
Classic looking Bruins player, I think. Yeah. So last time we talked to you, excuse me, it was a few months ago. Did you get any hockey at Providence since we last talked to you, or has it been all off season?
I think you guys caught me near the end of the season going in the playoffs.
So how'd you guys do? Talk about that.
We finished Hockey East about middle. Kind of finished. We had a tough start after Christmas, but we started to pick it up. Finished strong. Went in the playoffs against UMass Amherst. So obviously they're reigning national champion. So it was going to be a tough matchup. We actually played really well. Tough. We lost, and I ended up breaking my collarbone that game. Like first period. Yeah. So. I mean, last game of the season, probably the best time to break your collarbone, but at the same time, it's playoffs and we're trying to make a run, and all the guys were hyped up. Everyone battled hard, and it was a really good game. I thought, like, there's nothing that we could have done better in a way. Like, we kept our heads high after that one, but we know coming back this year is going to be different. But yeah, first period off a face-off, thought a D-man was lining me up, so I'm going to go chip a puck, and as I'm trying to evade the hit, there's a centerman who looped back, and he stepped right up into me and kind of caught me high, hit the ice hard, broke my collarbone. At first, I thought it was a concussion, so I'm in the locker room going like, no, I'm ready to go back out, and then try to get up and move, and it's like, oh, my shoulder's not right, so doc's checking me out, all that stuff, but it's good now. Surgery after. Got like a metal plate, couple screws in there, and done all my rehab, back to normal strength training. So it's all good now, but tough way to end the season.
Yeah, it always sucks to end the season with like an injury or like, not being able to play during the playoffs as well. Yeah. Or part of it as like you said, but I know that feeling. I had that happen to me before, like my shoulder dislocated or you like that area where you can't really move it, and it's honestly really painful. So. And you thought you had a concussion that you said?
I probably had a concussion. I don't know. I didn't really get checked out for it because at first I felt really dizzy and stuff. But then once I got off the ice and reality kind of clicked back in, and I felt fine. Like I was ready to play.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because when that did happen to me, I remember my vision was all fuzzy. I felt like I was going to pass out and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's like I don't know if it's from the pain, but like, yeah, you could have a concussion too, right? But it's kind of insane though.
The adrenaline too, right? The adrenaline, you come down off the adrenaline, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it happened. So now just not going to worry about it. But some might have had a concussion. I don't know.
Hey, you never know. There's probably a lot of like guys that get concussions in hockey that just get undiagnosed. You know what I mean? But
definitely,
you're all good now. I mean, you look good, and so recently you went to the Boston Bruins camp, and we can get into that here. You want to like tell us how that experience was, like kind of even just going there, or I know like you're in Providence, but like kind of just going to the building, were you nervous to go there? Were you like, how were you feeling? And just explain like the process of it too.
Walk us through the call. I think because it's really cool,
that's a good idea too. Yeah.
Because we were, last time you were on, we were talking about, like your opportunities once you get out of college hockey and stuff like that. And you were talking about Europe, you do the AHL and stuff like that, but you weren't really sure if you think you were going to get a call from an NHL team. But to go out and get a call. I mean, that's so massive. So like, what was the day like that you got the call? Like, what did they say to you?
So it's kind of funny. I think it was near the end of January. I think sometime around there, maybe February. And me and my roommates were watching Boba Fett. Unreal series, but it was like probably around 8:00. And I got a text from my agent. He's like, "Do you have time to talk real quick?" I go, "Yeah." So I kind of stepped in my room and he called me and he goes, whatever, you having a good season? And he's just like, "Oh, by the way, the Boston Bruins are going to call you in 10 minutes here. They want you at development camp." And I was just like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah."
I shit my pants.
Yeah. So he was like, "Congrats, like if you got any questions, what to say, blah, 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 let me know." So I asked him a couple of questions. And then later after that, like 5-10 minutes goes by, I got the call from their head scout, Scott, really good guy. Really upfront, just kind of kept it brief because he knew middle of the season. So he just said, "We want to invite you now." Usually they kind of invite later down the line, but they wanted to get their free agents out of the way. Like I think they invited a kid from Nodak at the same time, who was really good at camp too. But so he kind of called me. He's just like saying like, "Yeah, camp's going to be in July. Like don't let this bother your season at all."
Did you guys hear that? It's my aunt's dog.
Yeah,
he's here right now.
But yeah, so he pretty much was just saying like, we're excited to have you. We've been following you all year. We wanted to get the call out of the way, let you finish your season strong, and then they'll be watching the whole rest of the season. So I didn't think it affected me. I think some games I kind of got nervous thinking about it, like, oh man, like these guys are watching me now. So I kind of felt tight in some games. But after the season, I talked to him again, and we talked about the season, everything he liked, everything I could work on. It was always good things to say, that he's not not going to rip into me and whatever. So I had my rehab leading into camp, all my strength training, but I was never really nervous, honestly, because it's like an opportunity that like you can't be nervous about. Like it's like when you get that call, it's like it's got to be an ego booster in a way. So I felt like I had a lot of confidence going in. The only thing I was nervous about is every time I talked with him, they stress on conditioning, like a lot of conditioning. So a couple of my teammates did that camp last year, some draft picks and stuff, and they're talking about the bike test, and oh man. So my mindset, like going into camp, I felt strong, like I felt conditioned, all that. And then the time came to go, so I had no nerves. But the first day, we got there Sunday, dinner, everyone's like introducing themselves, like the whole staff, the GM, Don Sweeney, like he's going around introducing himself to players. Like,
oh, that's sick.
Yeah. So I got to meet a lot of people. Adam McQuaid ran pretty much the camp. Great guy. He was just dishing out all like his knowledge and just giving guys great advice. So then Monday rolled around, and we had to be up at 5, and then all of the body testing, like they tested everything from like flexibility to power, all that stuff. And then once you're all kind of done, like the standard, like height and weight stuff and all that testing, they go, all right, like time for the bike test. Like, cause we went through like an order. So like you did long jump, squat jump, and then bench power press. And then the last thing was the bike test. So I was in the second group, and I'm at the bench press, like doing my power stuff. And I look over and they're starting the bike test. And I'm like, oh man, like I got to do this next. Like, this is like the one thing in camp that I'm the most nervous for.
Yeah.
And then once it was our turn, one of my teammates, Riley Duran, we were in the same group, and we hop on the bikes. I'm just getting a little warmed up. And then one of the trainers comes over and he goes, "You ready?" And I was like, "Nope, but got to do it anyways." And so Duran kind of gave me a tap, and he's like, "All right, like, let's go." Like me and him. So we kept the same tempo, got through it. 3 miles under 7 minutes. So once you get through the first mile, you think you're cruising, and then every mile seems like every like 0.1, like half mile to a mile seems like an eternity. But once we got through that, camp was a lot of fun. Just all nice, like practice and stuff. We did the skate test the next day, but that wasn't bad. Just down back through the blue. But yeah, once we hit the ice, I had some nerves going on the ice Monday, the first day, obviously, because you're out there with a lot of skilled guys.
Yeah.
And like, you don't want to worry about how you're doing, but at the same time, you don't want to be the guy like gripping your stick, missing passes and all that stuff. But once I was out there kind of in the flow, like back into my routine, like it just it comes naturally. So I had a lot of fun. We did a lot of activities. We ended up getting dinner as teams. Like I got to meet a lot of great guys. And then overall the camp was just a blast.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram they actually posted a picture of you sniping it top shelf, which was that was cool to see, honestly, just to see you do that. And like, did you guys do any like off ice stuff too? Like, I think I saw some of that like on their Instagram as well.
Yeah, so like Tuesday and Thursday, we did like a quick lift after, just in the gym. Like they're trainers, they want us like to kind of show like the stuff like the Bruins do, and they want to keep us in shape as well. Like we all have that routine back home, so staying in the gym was really good. It was nothing too intense because they kind of understand that we're on the ice for a long time. Like when we're on the ice, forwards go out for an hour. And then the D like have like we do video, so the D are doing video and getting ready, and then everyone's on the ice, so D and forwards, and then after practice, the D stay on for an hour, and all the forwards get off and like we'll eat lunch and stuff, and then hit the gym, and then the D will come off and do their thing. So that kind of flipped every day. So you're on the ice for about 2 to 2.5 hours almost every day, and then so then you hit the gym, and then Friday was our tournament game. So we had some 3-on-3 games. My team won 2 games. We didn't win the cup, but we came third. So and then they broke it up white and black. We did 5-on-5 and then 4-on-4. So that's when I ended up scoring that one goal that you saw.
Oh yeah, that's good hockey though. Hey, 4-on-4.
Pretty cool. We shouted out on their page too.
Yeah, that was sick. And it was a nice shot too. Like it's not like it was just like a little like tip in, but it was like a hard ass shot top shelf too, which is pretty sweet.
That's what you get too, playing with those great players. Like they find you in that kind of situation.
Yeah. That's true.
They had a lot of their draft picks there too, right?
Yeah, I think it was majority of the draft picks. I think they only had 5 or 6 free agents. Because my teammate Duran, who is drafted, he was saying the year before they couldn't get all their Euro picks over. So they had more free agents the year before, and then this year all the Euros were there. I had my roommate was Oscar Jelvik. He was a good guy, and he's going to be a freshman at BC. But wow, like he's got some talent. Like, crafty guy.
So did you feel like you fit in? You know, you felt like you were, because obviously I bet a lot of those guys are like, you know, playing over in Europe and stuff like that, in men's leagues and stuff like that. Did you feel like you belonged?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Good. Awesome.
I think, that's part of my mindset. Like I'm not gonna be here like caught up in the lights, like and like just enjoying the experience. Like I'm here to compete as well. So I think that was part of it, and being able to be a competitor out there with everybody. I think was a real booster of confidence for me.
Nice. Yeah, you're gonna have a big season next year for Providence, I bet, eh?
Need one, so just gotta come in with that same attitude. But yeah,
that's awesome, man. So, what was the end of camp like? You know, did they kind of say anything to you about like future stuff, or was it like just kind of like a see you later?
No, it was a good exit meeting, actually. They talk about camp. They talk about, what they saw, what they liked, stuff they want to see this year. But it's never like, all right, like, thanks for coming. Like, it's like, thanks for coming. We really enjoyed you having out here. Like, we're going to be watching. Like, it's like, we're going to be watching. Mm-hmm. And that's everything, right? Like, there's always someone watching. And for them, they're just saying, like, we're going to keep watching. We know you got your senior year. They're going to be there regardless. We got my freshman goalie here, Phil Schvedback. He's a Bruins pick. Duran, who's my line mate last year, was a Bruins pick. I think we may have one more. No, Callahan, who signed with the Bruins.
Yeah.
So like they'll be around watching, obviously, with those guys there. So.
No, yeah, definitely. What was I gonna say? Yeah, no, it's pretty good that you can have that confidence too, because I feel like that's your mentality going to like these things, and even getting into Providence. Like I that's how I got that from you, and I think they really like that. And I was gonna say they are always watching too, right? Like I'm sure I don't know if like they favor watching like more local, because Providence is pretty local to like Boston, right? So
Yeah, they don't.
Do they watch a lot of Providence games? Is that why a lot of Providence players go to Boston?
They usually they catch everything, but I think being that local team, they're able to get out easier. Like, right, like they can go to a Boston University game, a BC game, the Harvard games, Northeastern, like the local teams. So when they see these guys coming in, especially their draft picks, they're going to be there watching. Right, it's that easy drive.
Yeah,
but I know they got scouts everywhere. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize that there's a lot of talented schools in that area. You know what I mean? Like, I mean Providence being one as well, but it's pretty cool that you can like some of the other guys were there too, and like you get to play with some of the draft picks as well, and like some of your teammates too, which is pretty cool. But do you like have like a favorite encounter, favorite like memory from it? I know that you did like the bike was one of the most nerve-wracking moments that you just said, but do you have something that really stuck with you that you're like, wow, I'll never forget that? I mean, the whole experience probably, but
yeah, I mean that whole camp was just, I don't think I'll ever forget that. But there was a couple good moments. We would go out for dinner up in North End Boston, so a lot of good Italian places.
Oh yeah,
to meet a bunch of guys like Johnny Beecher, Mark McLaughlin.
Oh, yeah.
Like Fedback would come and he'd bring Yelvik, like my roommate. So I got to hang out with these guys. But we did like a lot of good things. Like we went rowing in the Charles River, I think it's called. So we did like a team there just rowing. Got a little competitive out there. We went just going to these restaurants. I think one cool spot we went. I think it was called Tall Ship. So it's a bar not like it's like in the patio kind of bar, but like also you get food and stuff. I think a couple of players have from the Bruins have like ownership stakes in that. But we took a boat over to the east side of Boston, and then ended up going there. So we got food, played like they had cornhole there. I tried lobster the first time too. It was
the first time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you a fan?
I was a fan. It was some good lobster.
Okay.
So
I think you would like lobster. Like
that's the thing. Like because it was all covered by the team, and I was talking to Duran and Beecher because they had the lobster, and I was like, "How was the lobster? Like, was it good? Was it good?" And they're like, "Yeah, it was good." And Mike Callahan came over, and he's like, "What? You didn't get the lobster?" I'm like, "No, I've never had it." And he goes, "Dude, like, it's your really only like free time to try it. Like, just go up and grab it. If you don't like it, it's whatever." It's like,
yeah.
So I'm like, you convinced me. So I went up, grabbed the lobster, come back. One of the coaches on the ice goes, "Oh, like good pick." You know, I'm like first time, like see how she goes, and then just devoured that thing. It was good. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good story. Actually,
the Northeast U.S. has like the best lobster in the world. You know, Eastern Canada too. So it's good you tried it.
I understand the hype now because it was really good. And even there's another player there who signed with the Bruins. He kind of laughed and made a joke. He's like, that thing was alive earlier today, and now you're eating it. So like,
no, they drop it in a pot just before you order it. You know, it's crazy.
Has a name and everything.
Yeah.
Lots of European guys there.
Yeah, they had a good amount of picks actually. There was a Finnish guy. I forget his name. I feel bad, but no, there's a Finnish kid, a couple Swedes. There's Russian Merkulov from Ohio State that they signed. Really talented. Just all a bunch of guys like that. Like it's really, really good scouting, like where they're finding these guys. Actually, funny story too, thinking of it. Matt Poitras, their second round pick.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently he lives around the corner from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a Whippy guy.
No way.
Yeah. So
Really?
I found out about oh man, I think it was right because the draft was Friday. It was like Friday, Saturday. And I think he got drafted second round. So it would have been the next day. And my mom called me, I think Saturday night, and goes, "Do you see who you're going to camp with?" And I was like, "No, like, what do you mean?" She's like, "Oh, Matt Poitras." And I was like, "What? Like who?" Like, because I saw they drafted this kid, but I didn't know like who he was at first. She's like, "Oh, like, I guess you never really met him." Then she's like, "Oh, like, my sister and like Poitra's sister like play hockey together, and apparently my brother and Poitras went to school for a year. So like I guess like we're somewhat family." So I had no idea. So
Really?
I'm just telling me about this. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" So I get to camp and I see him. I'm like, "What's up, buddy? Like, how you doing?" He goes, "Oh, it's good to finally meet you." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess you too." And then we just kind of chatted about Whippy, and it's kind of funny how close we were and all that stuff.
That's crazy. So
Oh,
like,
It's funny.
what team was he playing for?
he was Guelph Storm.
Oh, okay. The OHO then. Okay. Do you know what high school did he go to?
Oh man, I don't think it was a high school because if it was high school, he would have been going to school in Guelph. But I think he went to
Oh,
I think Meadowcrest in
okay.
My brother and sister both went there.
I see.
I feel like it'd be Meadowcrest, if not maybe a year at Austin.
That's crazy.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy because there's a lot of Whippy guys that make it, and I didn't even realize that. Like usually it's on my radar if I like see they're
yeah,
from Whippy.
that's what I'm saying because I saw the pic and I was like, oh, he's a Whippy guy, and then never really clicked that like he lives around the corner from me pretty much. So
That's insane. I mean that's pretty cool, right? Like and have
no,
that connection there.
he was a great guy too. I enjoyed talking to him obviously, and then all that stuff. So we got to relate on certain levels, right? So
Shane Wright is from Burlington. I used to hang out with him all the time.
yeah, he's another local guy there.
I've never hung out with Shane Wright.
I was gonna say, wait, is he being sarcastic?
No, but he's actually from Burlington. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah.
At least you can say you can hang out with him though.
I mean, I don't
Man,
know.
he's a fourth overall pick. He's not that important anymore.
No, he slipped. I mean, come on, Shane.
What do you think about the draft? We'll venture off into that. Like, what do you think of? Like, were you shook by how Shane Wright dropped to number 4 and stuff like that?
Before the draft, I was hearing rumors that Montreal was like going with the check. And honestly, I think it makes sense for Montreal.
Yeah.
Because they don't need another centerman. So hearing that, I was like, all right, well, New Jersey was second pick, and they took the D, which I think was also smart. So I thought Arizona was going to take them, and then they already had the mindset on Cooley. So I think after the fact, it makes sense on like why these teams made the decision, but it's still kind of shocking that like you have a kid like Shane Wright who has an immense of talent and
and how lucky Seattle.
Yeah, he's slipping down to Seattle. So I think Seattle got a really good pick. I think him and Berniers are going to be unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like that's a sneaky team, right? Like they're definitely going to be up and coming. I think you know what was that? Sorry.
I was just going to say I think it makes sense of like how the draft went after.
I think so too. Like I kind of like how it did go down. I don't think I liked Wright going to Montreal. I think they needed that. They needed the check, and then New Jersey they already have too many like forwards and Jack Hughes, Heischer, whoever. They needed maybe another defense there. And then I think
Cooley makes sense.
Yeah, Cooley makes sense. Cooley's pretty nasty too, I heard. I mean, I think they're dead set on him too, but I think
an American player is good for them too, right? Because Shane Wright might get drafted to Arizona and you know, just another factor of him being Canadian and maybe not seeing the value in playing in Arizona, you know, that maybe an American like Cooley might have. So yeah, it made sense. I think I was going to ask you, going back to development camp, who was the first person you called or texted after you talked to the Bruins?
Good question.
Definitely my parents first.
Yeah.
But apparently my agent already talked to my parents, so it kind of ruined.
Oh, that's the worst.
Spoiled it, eh?
Guys, I called my dad, and my mom and dad are already both waiting by the phone, and then my mom drops it. Yeah, John already called us. Like I was like, oh well, if you guys already knew, then But no, so that was like the first text. I think the next text was to my uncle Rob.
Okay, yeah.
I think I only texted my parents that night because I wasn't 100% sure what I like how I should tell people.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to just like blow everybody's phones up in one night.
Yeah.
I would have.
No, you want to know how Jamie told me? So Jamie
I
was
was
back in
going to
Whitby.
ask how high up on the list was Jake here on the people to text?
Well, that's the thing. I didn't tell a crazy amount of people at first. I think it was my mom and dad, and then I think everyone in my family the next day. And then I think I told
The girlfriend.
Yeah,
Okay.
I told her. I told her. I probably should have told her sooner than I did. Because she was like, "When did you find out?" I was like, "A couple of days ago." She's like, "Oh, like why didn't you tell me?"
Couple days.
Well, that's it. Yeah,
in the doghouse for a little bit. Eh?
That's rough.
It wasn't good. It wasn't smart. Learn from the mistakes. But I eventually just kind of started opening up and just telling more and more people. But it's like weird. Like I don't know. Like I think for me, just bringing it up, it's like, hey man, like by the way, like this happened, like mid conference. Like I don't know. For me, that's
I feel like you're pretty humble about it. That's what I feel. I like you're professional, right? Like you're not gonna go like, oh, like I'm telling everyone in the world, right? Like
yeah,
it's kind of it's your passion. You're just passionate about it.
I think that's I guess a good way. I just didn't know how to tell people. Like like.
You should have just threw up on Instagram the Boston Bruins logo, like now a member.
Yeah.
Signed.
Yeah. Future captain,
Invited. Oh man.
No, but the way Jamie told me was like we're literally at the bar. He's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to the Boston Bruins development camp." I'm like, I'm freaking out in the bar. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, when did this happen? Then he told me, he's like, I'll come on the pod and talk about it. So yeah, I think that was a cool way, honestly.
That's the best way to do it. I'll come on the pod and talk about it. Like, come on. That's fun.
Yeah, I think when I told you, I was thinking about, I'm like, who haven't I told at this point? And I'm like, oh, and I'm with you guys. I'm like, oh, like you guys got it now. So I was like, hey man, by the way, this happened. So
I mean, it's pretty awesome overall. Like that's awesome that you got to experience that. Like I wouldn't even know how to feel. Like I'd be nervous as hell doing that. Right. Definitely. But like you said, you can ask.
I was gonna say, what do you think the Bruins like about you? What are they looking for in you?
Yeah, they were upfront about that in the exit interview. They were just saying they like the size, obviously. They like how I can play on the ice. That I'm able to skate. I think one thing they said is like being a big player, like the ability to skate, like needs to be there, and they find that with me. Obviously, being a big player on the ice, they do like my skating ability. Like the stuff I can do skating, I guess. They just kind of like the physicality, like the competitiveness. I think the one big, like they like a lot of things, and then like the one big thing they saw and they really want me to like kind of like get better at is just being a competitor like every day. Like every game, like you can't take days off. You can't like obviously you're gonna have bad games, but it's about the difference of like having a bad game and getting over it rather than having bad games and like letting that get to you. So I think that's one thing that they're kind of like really big on me. And it's like you can have a bad game, like no one's perfect, but like
more the mental side too, right? Of things.
Make sure you're taking care of yourself and not letting those bad games happen again in a way.
Hockey is so mental too. I mean, like it's me and Jake talked about it on our last episode of the podcast. It is like so hard, like for people to just be thrown into it. And then, if you're not mentally prepared or equipped, like you can like slip into like bad things, I'm not saying that's you obviously, but just it happens to players. Right. So it's good that they're preaching that, right? Like helping prepare you for possibly playing one day. Right. I was also going to ask, like, so now that you've been to camp and stuff like that, and like an NHL contract is like a realistic possibility for you, who or what player in the NHL do you think you most resemble or strive to be like?
Wow. Ooh.
Like I was thinking when you were talking, like, to me, Charlie Coyle or something like that, like.
I think in those comparisons, I think Charlie Coyle, is one of those players.
Yeah.
Whenever I was growing up, I remember people saying, I remind them of like Brad Richards, like back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Even being like, I've heard some coaches have compared me to Getzlaf in a way, although I'm not like a centerman anymore. I think that comparison, like Charlie Coyle, is good. I think any kind of player that plays big and physical, but has like competitiveness to go out and win battles and like have that edge to score. And obviously you see that in Charlie Coyle. I mean, that guy's a competitor for me. Like he is like the perfect Bruins player, or a perfect fit to be a Bruins player. But yeah, I think
I can see Getzlaf.
That's what I can see that. Because when I played center, I had my coach told me he kind of like the game resembled, like I'm not Getzlaf, but like, aspects of the game kind of resemble Getzlaf's two-way centerman ability, and how he's big and he can skate. Obviously he's older now, but he still has that talent. I think Charlie Coyle, now that you kind of mention it, I'm trying to think of another big player.
Anders Lee,
yeah, even him. He's freaking huge on the Islanders.
Yeah, he's a winger. He's got a good shot. You've got a good shot.
I know. Would you say Kreider? Is Kreider even tall? I don't even know.
He's not that big.
No? Okay. Well, I mean, maybe he just seems like the way he plays, but I don't know.
Does Jamie want to throw himself into opposing goaltenders at all? Just want to dive bomb in there.
Take out Carey Price.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Bruins need somebody to do that,
No, exactly.
Don't do that. That's funny. But yeah. When you're talking Charlie Coyle, obviously a big guy, can score, but like all compete. Like, that's who I've always thought of or compared you to kind of in my head. But yeah, man, that's sick. What were you gonna ask, Jake? You were gonna ask something?
It totally slipped my mind, but we can talk about
the Toronto Maple Leafs.
There was that, but I do have a question to ask before that. Was there any like of your teammates this year that did get drafted, and like did you like that was on your team recently or got some new contracts, like because I know that's exciting to see for you as well, to see your teammates do well.
Yeah, just like guys who are free agents who sign.
Yeah, free agents drafted this year. I mean, whatever it is.
I think the guys who got drafted were recruits who aren't coming in yet.
Okay.
I don't think we had any draft picks, but we had a lot of guys go to camp, which I was really happy with. A lot of guys went. But I had a roommate, Greg Prince. He signed PTO with San Diego in the A.
Okay, yeah.
He had a really good year, so I think he ended up extending his contract with them, which is really cool to see.
That's nice.
Success. I got to live with him for a year. He's a great guy.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed living with him, and so seeing him sign that contract was really cool. Actually, he just got engaged too.
Oh really? Wow. Living life, hey.
Hoping to catch a wedding invite. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of guys. Actually, Davis Buns too. Shout out to him. He signed in the Coast. Actually, we have a bunch of guys now. Think about Colin Olszewski. He signed an A deal, and I'm pretty sure re-signed with Rochester. Ty Thompson just signed a 2-year extension.
I saw that. Yeah.
Who left? It was Co. I feel like someone else might have signed and left, but I don't remember. I remember Co signing. Ty signed, Princey signed. I feel like there's one more I don't want to forget, but I'm sure it'll come to me, or I'm just thinking of something else, but we'll see. But yeah, no, seeing those guys have success is really awesome, because it kind of shows like the hard work that we all put in is paying off. Yeah. And it's going to just come down the line to other guys too. So
it seems like on your team. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. Well, it seems like your team has a lot of talented players on the team, and it's a very skilled squad too. Where like you guys do have a lot of success, and like you see a lot of players from Providence have success in the NHL.
It speaks to Providence.
It does, and I can tell the team that you're with too. Like you guys do well, and I can see your game over the years exceeding as well. Like I keep track of your points, and I mean, the more and more I see your points increasing, and then I also see like posts of you as well, like scoring more and everything like that. And I think that Providence is just such a great place to play hockey. And
yeah, it definitely is. And Jackson Stopper was the last one, goalie. He signed.
I remember him. Okay.
Yeah, he was the last guy. But yeah, no, I think almost any college hockey program. I think the team that my coach has built, Nate Lehman, he's built a really good organization, and the school and like the athletic department has allowed him to do it, which is incredible to see. Like obviously we haven't had that tournament success yet, but like just the program that we've built, the players we've been able to take in and develop over the years, and just allow them to be better themselves, I think is incredible. And you see that a lot in almost every college program. So I think that's why I chose the college route, and that I'm happy I chose the college route.
Definitely. I was going to ask who on your team, maybe somebody who's going into their final year or something like that hasn't been signed or something like that. Do you think like deserves a look from somebody? Can you think of someone?
Oh yeah, Parker Ford, 100%. I think he will sign. He attended the Bruins camp the year before I did.
Okay.
And he wasn't sure about camps this year because he's done it. He's done the Bruins camp. He's been invited to a couple of camps. I think he went to Detroit for a couple of days, did something there. He didn't do camp this year. I think just the way it kind of went down. Obviously, like I said, like the Euro picks, like a lot of the Europeans couldn't come to camp, so a lot of camp spots filled up with teams getting the players. But he is just the hardest worker I've ever met in my life. Like he just, it's like he's a guy that's like every single day, no days off, like putting everything has into it. And it's not like he won't get a look. Like I think he'll definitely sign, like whether it's A or NHL. But he's definitely one of the guys that I can see doing that.
Nice.
That's pretty sweet. I mean, who do you have like a set line that you play with, or like is it always changing?
Oh, it changes a lot.
Changes a lot, yeah.
I think the one guy the one line I played the most with was Duran and Chase Yoder. I played with him for the majority of the year, and then I got flipped around. I was playing with Moynihan for a bit. I was playing with Fordo for a bit. I was playing with Cohen Olachevsky for a bit. Kind of flips around, just like the way the lines are moving, the way guys are playing. My coach likes to switch things up, but yeah, I think I'd say Duran and Yoder the most.
For your senior year, what I'm not sure what line you're on. Are you playing in the top six?
It could I got no idea. I could be top six. I could be third line. I mean, we have a really good roster, so I would say top six, third line. I could be fourth. Not sure. Obviously, I'm going to work towards the top six line, so I have no idea how it's going to shape out.
What are your goals for your final year?
Definitely work towards the top six minutes. Try top six spot there. But obviously, I'd rather have the team win more than I think for personal goals. They kind of get that, but overall, I'm more kind of focused on how we're gonna do as a team.
Well, I feel like college hockey, they probably just change up the lines a lot more, like you just said. Like the NHL has a very like set first line, second line. Even they change it sometimes, but I like that idea of them doing that. So you get a feel. I mean, whatever players performing too, and you get a feel for everyone on the team too.
Yeah, it switches guys up. Like if guys are going, like there's no point to kind of hold them back on set minutes. Like if we got a guy going on like the third, fourth line, like let's get him going. Like let's kind of get energy on like the couple first lines. Yeah. It's good to mix stuff up. I think it's really good to mix stuff up at certain times, and then other times you got to have that straight line, that kind of like at the end of the game kind of type thing.
No, definitely. honestly, I think that's it from us. Bryce, do you have any more questions?
Are we at time?
We're not. I don't know. It's not showing the time for me. But honestly, actually, we could talk because last time you were
very
on
briefly.
Jamie. Yeah. Okay. Last time Jamie was on, he said, well, we kind of agreed that if the Leafs made it past the first round, he'll come back on. The guy's nice enough. He came back on even though the Leafs didn't make it past first.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
You know what? In my head, I knew that they weren't going to. And I mean, you always hope, but like, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. So we appreciate you coming back on.
My heart said they were, but after watching it, my head said they're not. So
yeah,
what went wrong? Briefly, what went wrong for them?
I don't even know what. Like, I think
everything.
Nick Paul.
See, they had games where they competed as a playoff team. And then there were just times where they were playing. It's like, this is not playoff hockey. Like, you guys need to pick it up a level. Like, some guy, like, I remember watching a couple Nylander clips of him not finishing hits and stuff, like doing flybys. Like,
then he played for Sweden and started hitting everyone.
Yeah, I saw those. It's like, and then I think Marner and Matthews definitely stepped up.
Oh yeah,
they stepped up, but obviously, like, the team needs more from them in playoffs. But I think showing that they showed growth this year, and I think overall, like, the team fought for games, but they didn't fight for the series in my mind.
This season here has got to be it, though, right? For management,
this has to be it this year. Like, I don't think you can look back on the years. Like, you can look back on the team you built all you want, but you can't look back on the years and say you accomplished something.
I mean, can Matt Murray do it? Is Matt Murray going to be the Matt Murray that won 2 cups? That's the question.
I like the other goalie. What's his name?
Samsonov? Yeah. I do too.
I like that sign because I think he does. I think that they see in him is like a Jack Hamill again. A guy who, like, maybe never got a proper opportunity, but he has that talent. Because Jack, he was buried in LA. Like, he was buried by he was buried behind Quick. And obviously he was a talented goalie and he got to shine with Toronto. I think Murray had his moment in the light, but I think he can come back into it if he was battling like his own stuff too. Like,
if he stays healthy,
he's not that old. He's only 28.
Yeah, so I think Murray, if he can, I think he'll build confidence because the Leafs, like, they're strong in the regular season. Like, obviously it won't be perfect, but I think he'll have enough games that he can build confidence. But I want to see Samsonov really become like the number one guy if he can.
Yeah, he is younger. He is younger too, right? And he can definitely progress. Like, for goalies too, it does take a little longer for them to get better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
it'll be interesting. I mean, we can talk about it all we want until March rolls around, and we'll see where the Leafs end up. So,
well, we'll get you back on. Maybe a third of the way into the season, you can do just your thoughts and feelings.
Jamie's a Boston Bruins fan now. He has to be. He's committed. He's committed now. I mean, if they think they hear he's cheering for the Leafs, that's too much of a conflict.
I did tell them that I was a Leafs fan. I forgot at the opening meetings per se. You had to introduce yourself. One of the introductory things was like you're cheering the team you cheered for growing up, and I was the only guy to say the Maple Leafs.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yo, they must like that though, because that's like that means you're confident in yourself.
You're not lying either. Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, I was a Bruins fan, because I'm like Jamie Engelbert, Whippy, Ontario, and I was a Bruins fan. Like, they'd be like, oh, like, come on, like, really, like, no, like, I said Leafs fan.
The guy look him firm in the eyes and say it. Like, I'm a Leaf fan. Like,
you gotta say it a little quietly. No, honestly, who that guy from Whippy? Did you hear what he said? Did you hear his answer?
Oh, Poitras did not say Leafs. He did not. I honestly think he. Oh, wait, what did he say? I feel like he said the Habs, but I might be.
Oh, that's even worse to say to Bruins kid.
I don't want to put the teams in his mouth and what he cheers for.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't the Leafs because I know I was the only one who said the Leafs. I'm pretty sure.
Any Canucks fans that can't?
I think someone did say the Canucks.
Let's go.
I think someone did.
They must not remember 2011. Too young.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a Stanley Cup ring for it, so
I don't like that. Do you play fantasy hockey at all?
I have a little bit. I haven't recently. I think
you should play with us this year.
Yeah, we have a league every year.
We have a league every year.
I'll get in on that action there.
We'll join. It's free. We play for free.
Yeah,
we don't play for money. Yeah.
NCAA rules. We can't play for money. So.
Are you serious? Oh, crazy.
Oh, you can't. No, I guess it's conflicts with it.
3, I'm sure I can. But
wow.
We'll keep the money on the side.
Yeah, we won't talk about it.
Off the record, you know what I mean?
Off the record. But no, yeah.
Definitely. All right. Yeah. So that's it for me then, Jake. You got any other questions, buddy?
That's it for me. I mean, we could talk to Jamie all day about hockey, but congrats to going to the Bruins camp. We're all proud of you here back home, the Wolfpack. You know, we love you. I'll shout out Talbot. You know, I'm pretty sure he listens to the last podcast, the whole thing, and he loved it. So I'm sure everyone will love it again, and we really appreciate you coming on. We got to get you and Cam on your root. Is he your roommate still or no?
No, we got the house now, but he was my roommate for 2 years.
Okay, yeah.
He's in my house. He's my housemate now.
Okay, yeah. So Cam McDonald, he plays defense for Providence as well. Hopefully we can get him on soon, and that'd be a good pod, and we'll talk about his prior career to Providence.
Content creation.
Yeah.
He's got stories to tell.
Oh yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to getting you back on, and I can't wait to hear more about that journey, man. We believe in you fully, so it'd be really sick if you made it.
Oh yeah.
All right, sure, you good, Jake?
I'm good.
All right, if you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you check out our Spotify. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, drop a comment. We're gonna upload this full thing to YouTube, I think, with video as well. So.
Jamie's looking good, so
dude, can't miss out on that. We're trying to.
Yeah, he's got the beard, eh? Yeah,
we're trying to uptick our female percentages, of female watchers. Yeah.
We have a little percentage, but I mean, when Jamie's here,
it's low.
Definitely
it's real
gonna go
low.
up.
Yeah. It's not good. Okay. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you in the next episode.
Peace, guys.